Sportsbook at PlaySugarHouse.com or download the iOS app. Playable in New Jersey only. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The reviews are in, and players are raving about the new $1 million Premier Scratch-Off game from the New York Lottery. The lady at the gas pump gave it a big thumbs up. Some guy on his couch said it had me on the
What's
edge
up,
of my
guys? I
seat.
forgot to start it this
I
hour.
would play it again, said a fellow New Yorker. New York Lottery's $1 million
Hit me up on the
Premier, now
comments.
playing
We
in a
will
store
use
near
them
you.
as
Rated
well
18
during the
plus.
show.
You must be 18 years or older to purchase a lottery
Happy to
ticket.
do
Please play
that.
responsibly.
Try Truly Hard
But
Seltzer.
definitely want to get you guys
100
involved on the
calories, 1
live
gram
stream
of
as much
sugar,
as possible.
5% alcohol in 27 different flavors. Find it near you at
Tell you what,
trulyhardseltzer.com. Truly
a lot
Hard
of shine
Seltzer
coming off
Beverage
my head.
Company.
I should have put on
Please
some
drink
makeup.
responsibly.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game.
That's not
And now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Of course we can help you gear up for that next oil change. We've got a great deal for the job. Right now you can get 5 quarts of Castrol GTX conventional or high mileage motor oil and an STP oil filter for just $28.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery. Getting your job done just got easier. Restrictions apply.
1 minute, Chris.
All right. What do we got? James, what's going on? Richard, nice background. You like the Cameron Maben? James, you got a spot for the internship for me yet? Maybe down the line, brother. We're full at the moment, but you never know.
KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Steve, Yankees make me drink. Relax.
To learn more about our programs and to donate, go to carsforkids.com. That's cars with
We'll
a
get to
K.
Corey
Pickup
Kluber.
is quick and easy.
Somebody
You'll
told
also
you
get a vacation
something
voucher
like that. I
and
don't know.
maximum tax deduction.
I don't mean to be, I told you so, but.
KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids.
Big fella told you.
Donate your car today.
Also accepting real estate donations.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I'm rocking my pants, putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom, explosion.
Carlin, 98.7 ESPN. Let's roll. 800-919-3776. Derek in Staten Island. You have been patient, Derek. Thanks for hanging in, brother. How are you?
I'm good. Just wanted to talk about the game last night.
Yes, sir.
Before
Go ahead.
The game and everybody's joy. And but I was watching the game with my son, and I'm kind of ashamed that Trey Young is getting all this abuse. You know, my son. You know, he asked me what they were chanting at that game, and I was like scared to tell him. And, you know, it's like...
It's not right.
You know, I had to tell him, hey, son, you know, some people just have no class. And, you know, my son can appreciate competition. He appreciates the you know, young skill, too. Mm-hmm. So my question is, you know, can we be better?
Well, I don't think there's any question that we can be better. And I think that as far as the chanting is concerned, it's just stupid. I mean, Mike Breen was so spot on during the game about it. And, you know, he kind of put it like, I don't mean to sound old-fashioned. It's not old-fashioned. I wouldn't want to take my kid to that game and have people screaming that. I've taken my nephew and my nieces to games before and have people screaming obscenities, and I'll turn around and say something. But when they're chanting it, that's dumb. You know, Trey Young is balding. That was better. That's better. That's more creative. Work on your material going in. You know, honestly, you can be better than that. And I understand where you would be embarrassed by that. Of course you would. Why wouldn't you? It's not what the spirit of it is. It's frustrating to see that. It gets to be a bit much. Marcus in Astoria is next, 98.7 ESPN. Marcus, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
Pretty good. I was actually at the game yesterday, and for me, the coolest part was I actually had no plans of going. I actually got handed 4 tickets from a guy I work with. He's really cool. He's a season ticket holder normally.
Ooh.
He really hooked it up.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, yeah, man. Coincidentally, I even had a Knicks shirt on. I wore one to work just because, I was just waiting to get out of work just so I could watch the game. Even cooler, I got to bring my girlfriend and her 2 friends. They're both, all 3 of them are actually teachers. They've been working really hard. I know a lot of teachers get, they get a lot of crap for, taking it easy, having summers off. It's really not the case. I've seen what they have to go through for this stuff, and none of them have been to a Knicks game, let alone a playoff game like myself. So I got to say, the energy in that place was pure electric. Like, I've been to Ranger games, I've been to concerts there, plenty of Knicks games.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like I've ever seen before. It was kind of like the unity that one of the other callers was talking about. If I can, not to be morbid, but everybody remembers where they were for 9/11. It was kind of like the days after that with all the unity and the patriotism.
Mm-hmm.
You felt that the second you walked in, and it was like a whole 15, 20,000 people doing karaoke just for like the anthem when, everything was starting up. It was real crazy. I definitely don't agree with the whole chanting that he did. I'm pretty sure on TV everybody heard it too. I just feel like we could do better.
We did.
I feel like it's young kids, Yeah, and I feel like they should have arrested that guy, but that did the spitting. That's just it's terrible. This is a 22-year-old kid. I'm 34. I would have, I can't imagine playing under all those people and so much stress. I think just booing is enough. I think it's a little more fun. Plus, these young kids, they don't remember. Spike Lee, he kind of antagonized Reggie Miller back in the day.
Oh, he ticked him off, and he listen. So Spike can say and think whatever he wants, and I love Spike as a fan, but he was not helping the cause then.
That was his fault. He might as well went out there and scored on his own. But forget that. You just flash forward to now. He's a 22-year-old kid. He's got amazing skills. I don't normally watch college ball. Whenever I saw him playing, I did. The balding thing, I mean, that's got to suck, being 22 and having that come into the here. This kid's living his dream, and he's going to make millions of dollars, while everybody else that was giving him that, they got to be up just like I did, like a bum in the morning to go to work.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, listen, at the same time, Marcus, and thanks for the call. Yeah, Trae Young is balding. No, that's what we're talking about. That is an original thought. That is something that I would be more than happy for them to chant. And I think it's kind of cool. As somebody that's bald, too, I mean, sorry, bruh. Can't win them all. Welcome to the club. And don't pull a LeBron and start trying to cover it up. It's happening. It's happening. Live it, own it, love it. 800-919-3776. Let us continue. We have got, let's see. Mike is in Queens next, 98.7 ESPN. Michael, what's going on?
Hey, Chris, thanks for taking the call.
Yes, sir.
Going into last night, I think I underestimated how excited I would be after a win, right? I think we all kind of knew that this is a long time coming, 8 years and all that. And, after the win, I mean, just watching the post game and seeing the fans on, outside the studios, I mean, what a great, great, great moment for this city.
An amazing moment. And a moment that we have needed for a long, long time. And it's been frustrating. It's been a very frustrating time for so many people. And listen, I'm going to be honest and say that I have been exceptionally fortunate. I never got COVID. I haven't lost any relatives to it. And I have been able to stay employed during it. But for the millions that have not been in that situation, it is, one of those moments where at least if you're around here and you're a Knick fan, you can forget about everything that you have felt crummy about over the last year and go feel great about something and experience some joy.
Right. And, that's exactly right. And, turning to the game, I think you called it yesterday about Reggie Bullock potentially being an X factor, right?
Well, I didn't want to bring it up, but I was going
see-
to anyway. You're right. I did call it. I said Reggie Bullock would be an X factor. And so I'm super smart, and people really need to listen when I speak. So thank you.
No problem. I mean, we need to see more of this Reggie Bullock. And, obviously we need Randall to play better. And hopefully there are, better signs to come after that second half yesterday. But, it's going to take more than Randall. And, Reggie Bullock has to have more games like yesterday as compared to game one.
Agreed, and thanks for the call. And I think not just that, but Reggie's defense yesterday was also outstanding. I mean, you look at what the Hawks did in the first half of that game when they shot 46% and, they were 36 from three. Second half, 28% and 3 out of 19 from three. It's funny. Going into the game, we were talking yesterday about the idea that you had to get Trae Young into situations where he was shooting the ball from deep and not getting into the lane. Well, he seemed okay with that in the first half because he was 4 for 6 from behind the arc in the first half. It was fine shooting it from near the logo. And you're thinking, oh, God, how are you ever going to be able to stop this guy? And he got into the lane a little bit, not as much as the night before, but at the least you were able to contain him a little bit more. And let's be real about it. I mean, you got a break when Nate McMillan stayed away from him as long as he did. It was not what Nate got in game one from Lou Williams where he could do that. That was the biggest difference. Remember, Lou Williams in game one had 13 points in 13 minutes. In the 13 minutes that you had Trae Young out of the game. That was not the case last night. Lou wasn't bad, but Lou wasn't good. He wasn't what he was in game one, and that's why Trae Young not being on the floor looked worse last night. 800-919-3776. Rob in Massachusetts. Robbie, how you doing, brother? Oh, no, Rob. Rob, call back. Sorry, man. How about Joe in Brooklyn next? 98.7 ESPN. Joe, how you doing?
What up, Chris?
How you, bud?
I'm all right. Usually my greeting when I call you is a lot more loud and elongated, but I have to be honest with you. Quite frankly, your remarks earlier in the show got me a little emotional, and this is the reason why I say that. I was there last night, and in its purest form, with the exception of a couple of blemishes, I'm with you 100% on some of the chanting and that one action from one of the fans. I'm so sick of hearing it because it upsets me that that's a blemish on what was a great night.
Yeah.
That said, in its purest form, last night was why we love sports. Look at this city and we know this team is not going to win the finals. That's not what this year is about. It's about improvement. It's about enjoying the ride and seeing what they can do, right? And you also touched on mental toughness with Randall. What about Rose, man?
I'm getting to him.
Nothing but inspiration out of this team. They were down. I don't know what was the most they were down. 12 to
15
points,
at one
whatever
point.
It was
15.
Obviously.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, and there's just a never say die in this team. You knew they weren't going to bury their heads, right? And I'm hoping that we turn to sports for that community, whether it's a team or a sport that we become passionate about. We go to these events and we want to feel that camaraderie, that sense of community. And if sports isn't your thing, you have something else that provides that to you. Because as human beings, that's what we do long for. We do long for that interaction. And the health crisis, the pandemic really put a halt on all that. And so when I walked into the arena last night, seeing it packed out, I got choked up just looking out over it up in the nosebleeds, just because, I did not think I would be at the Garden anytime soon. Especially, I kind of counted the Knicks and the Rangers out for the playoffs. earlier in the season. So I didn't think the Garden was going to be a destination for at least another year at minimum. And yeah, man, what you said, it contextualized the entire experience. I'm hoping that little by little, this city just shows its greatness the same way this team is. Because again, we know this team isn't going to win it this year. We pretty much know that. That's not a genius statement, but what they're doing is exemplary, both as a team and individually. And like I said, Derrick Rose, you look at his career, you look at his come up, the devastation. Our city adopted a kid from Chicago, and he's owned it here. And his remarks the other day about, basically scoffing off being vintage Rose. Yeah, he's not vintage Rose. I don't see him jumping over everyone. He's reinvented himself instead, and that's that grit and determination that this city needs. So, Chris, I appreciate the words that you used tonight. Go Knicks, and go New York for real.
Joe, I'm so glad that you had the opportunity to experience that last night, and thanks for the call. And I'm going to get to Derrick Rose here in a minute, because that was exactly why Derrick Rose needed to be here this year. And none of us knew it until he got here, with the exception of one guy. Also, one of the Hawks is complaining about the officiating. We will get to both of those next.
It's Carlin.
It's not little, it's big.
On 98.7 ESPN.
Don't spend more.
You're down, Chris.
Your mobile service.
The reads that Jacob sent you, a lot of them are like in segment reads.
Okay.
I think 3 out of the 4 are in segments. So the next
Yeah,
segment.
truly hard seltzer. I see that.
Yeah, if you could close it out with the hard seltzer, that'd be great.
Visit SpectrumMobile.com today. 40% savings based on a comparison of single line
Brendan McCool, yes, we have had a Richard from Manhattan sighting. He checked in, called last night, but I didn't put him on. It was a short show. Bubble wrap the team on the Yankees. I understand that. I understand your frustration there. I'll get to Corey Kluber in a bit too.
Introducing Mike's Hard Lemonade Seltzer, the only hard lemonade seltzer made by hard lemonade experts. It's got 100 calories, just 1 gram of sugar, and it's gluten-free. Plus, each and every can is packed with the crisp, refreshing lemonade flavor you can only get from Mike's, because nobody makes lemonade like Mike's. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. Mike's Hard Lemonade Company, Chicago, Illinois.
Listen up. Security Dodge in Amityville is Long Island's Ram Trucks headquarters. During their Ram Spotlight Sales event, take advantage of their absolute best, no money down, lowest lease deals around by getting out of your lease up to 6 months early. Right now, Security Dodge has the largest inventory of new Ram trucks in stock and ready to roll. The Rams SRTs, Jeep Grand Cherokees, Jeep Compass, Wranglers, Gladiators. Come get some. If you're shopping, Security Dodge in Amityville is the place to go. Why go someplace else for a good deal when you go to Security Dodge and get the best deal? Over 2,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock and ready to go. There's no doubt why Security Dodge is Suffolk County's largest Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer. Security Dodge is also the largest certified pre-owned dealer in all of New York and has the largest inventory in the Northeast. Come get the best deal now. Security Dodge sells more because they sell for less. For complete program details, shop 24/7 online at securitydodge.com. And don't forget to tell them Peter Rosenberg sent you.
1 minute, Chris.
Okay.
Hey, it's Michael K. When buying appliances, electronics, TVs, and mattresses, you want to shop with a company that you can trust. A local company like my friends at PC Richard & Son. Summer weather says backyard cooking, and who doesn't want a new grill? Well, only PC Richard & Son gives you free assembly and free delivery on any Weber or Traeger grill. And now through September 11th, use your PC Richard & Son credit card and get 24-month special financing on everything priced $499 or more. You can't beat it. PC Richard & Son. Shop safe. Shop local.
Rose, right arc for 3, nails it. Rose with 22, the Knickerbockers chip it away.
Groves and the Knicks storms back in Game 2 to even up the series at 1.
Burks the lob, top and running the floor, slams it down as they erupt at the Garden.
Now we head to the ATL.
And look, I love this team. There's a great will and determination.
10 seconds.
The Hawks, the NBA playoffs. Game 3 coverage gets underway tomorrow night at 6:30 on 98.7 ESPN.
You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. Yeah. I got you.
Carlin, 98.7 ESPN. 800-919-3776. I can't believe it. I mean, already the Hawks are complaining about the officiating. Who is it with the Hawks who's complaining? Well, it's our guy, John Collins. And it's annoying that this is the take that John Collins has, but so be it. Here's what he had to say. Quote, the screens that have been made and the elbows that have been flying the first 2 games are illegal. They are not basketball plays. Obviously, the officials can have the ability to make their calls, and we have to live with that. End quote. The Hawks have done everything in their power to really try to make sure they're going to get every whistle in this series. And it's just absurd. It went from Nate McMillan complaining about it, about how the league wants the Knicks to win and all that in the leading up to the game, or leading up to the series. He gets fined $25,000. Now Collins is complaining. Meanwhile, the people that had real legit complaints would be the Knicks fans, and obviously what we saw from Tom Thibodeau about the fourth quarter of game 1. Because what happened there, all of a sudden, Trae Young's on the free throw line every 5 seconds. Now, yesterday, he only went to the free throw line 4 times altogether. And if you want to complain about all that, if you want to complain about the screens, I mean, it's all gamesmanship. Let's understand that. But John Collins complaining about the officiating it's just ridiculous. Again, here's what he said. The screens that have been made and the elbows that have been flying for the first 2 games are illegal. They are not basketball plays. Obviously, the officials can have the ability to make their calls, and we have to live with that. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. We all understand that the Knicks are going to be in trouble if this series is called very tightly. So you are laying out your case once again and conveniently doing it as you go home, hoping to get that home whistle in game 3 tomorrow night. My guess is that you probably will. Spend a minute here before we get back to the open lines at 800-919-3776. Don't forget, you can also tweet the show at Chris Carlin, and the video stream is up and running at 98.7 ESPN's Twitter handle and ESPN New York's Facebook page, where you can leave comments, as well as on the YouTube channel Carlin on ESPN, and we will use your comments during the show. By all means, check us out there. Derrick Rose is just absolutely everything. He's everything. And I love what we get to see from him now. Think about the career arc for Derrick Rose as a New York Knick. You go from somebody that just a couple of years ago couldn't get along with the coach, basically stepped away from the team, had to just walk away to get out, and was nothing but a giant pain in the ass for the team, to someone that gets his guy back in charge in the right situation. And Tom Thibodeau knew, he understood exactly the leadership, exactly the impact that Derrick Rose could make on this team, could have on this team with the leadership. And man, he has been everything and then some. And we talked about this prior to the postseason. He had to be the number 2 option because he is the steadiest of number 2 options. Things last night were going horribly in the first half. And early in the second half, in addition to some of the Randall plays, Derrick Rose was there to be a steadying influence on the Knicks. And he was just that. Calm, cool, collected, making plays. Yeah, he's playing 38 minutes. Yeah, we have to be concerned about wearing him out and all that. The guy looked fine last night. He looked fine. Maybe further down the line, he'll get worn out. Okay. But even if that's the case, we do know that he sets a tone for this team. And I love what he had to say after the game.
I am a totally different player. Not only did I change my game, but I feel like the numbers say that, where people have to defend me differently. They're putting bigger guys on me. They can't go on the screens anymore. Just everything. I changed my game.
And it has been nothing but a godsend for these New York Knicks. 800-919-3776. Quashi in the cab up next. 98.7 ESPN. Quashi, what's up, brother? Quashi. Check back, Quashi. Mike, Long Island, next. On with Carlin. Mike, what's up, baby?
Hey, what's going on, Chris? I just want to ask you. I want to ask you why does it seem fans are being so rude towards players these days? I was at the Tavares game when he returned to the Coliseum, and I heard curse words, Chris, I never heard in my life before. They were killing this guy, and then even Westbrook when Kevin Durant when he went back to the Thunder. They just, it's like it's bigger than the sport. I mean, they kill these poor players for. I mean, the words that they were using is just crazy. And yes, Trae Young. What Trae Young ever do to us? Just beat us in basketball because we can't guard him. You know, I don't get it.
Listen, you're not wrong about a lot of what's being said, and thanks for the call. There is a way to make it an incredibly difficult environment and to, torture a player, so to speak, without saying incredibly nasty things. There is absolutely a way to do that. Kyrie back in Boston, I understand what he was saying the other day, and I didn't love that he was bringing it up. But at the same time, when you see so many players in that town that have gone through it, you understand why he's bringing it up completely. It doesn't take much to just be a responsible fan while being a passionate fan and getting on other players. There's nothing wrong with getting on the other team. There's nothing wrong with it. It gets wrong when you make it personal and you're saying things that are just offensive in every single way. And look, other fans, we talk so much about players having to police one another. A lot of times fans kind of have to police fans, and nobody wants to get in a fight. Nobody wants to get in a fight. But you can point to security or go over and find security and say, this guy is being a complete pain in the ass. And this guy is saying a lot of things he shouldn't be saying. And most of the time, security will back you up and do something about it. So remember that when you're at the game. Like, I have been in that situation where I remember taking my nephew to a baseball game in the postseason. And a guy sitting behind us wouldn't stop cursing. And I give him a minute or two. Then I give him a look. And then it wouldn't stop. And I turned around and said, guys, I got my 10-year-old nephew here. Help me out. It's like, well, we're at a game. And I said, I don't care we're at a game. Just, you can do this while being respectable. And look, that could have turned uglier. Thankfully, it was the second inning and not the seventh inning when they would have had 4 more beers in them, and it probably would have turned uglier. But there are ways to do it. And you don't even have to do it yourself. You could just go to security and point them out. Because those guys just ruin it for everybody. And then the narrative becomes about the jackass who spit. I mean, spit. Really? That's what we're doing? Spit? Truth is, too, though, you really should go to security because you just don't know who you're dealing with. Robbie in Massachusetts is back. Robbie, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey, Chris, how are you? First of all, your monologue was outstanding. I feel the passion. I grew up in Port Chester, Robert, New York, and all my life went to Madison Square Garden, the city. The city means so much to me. And being a professional singer and a performer and stuff, to get back on stage now and start gigging again is everything to me. So I know everybody out there that's, performing in any capacity. It's just a great thing. So I'm so excited to just get back and do what I love to do. But last night was really special. I knew they were going to come back. My buddy was texting me from Albany. He said, it's done. I said, no way. There's no way. They got to play better ball. And what you and I talked about this the other night specifically about taking better shots, going to the basket, creating contact against a team that's specifically not really, a physical team. And Julius Randle putting the ball on the floor, taking it to the hole is really great. And that's why they won. They got better shots and they shared the basketball much better last night. So I'll get your comments on that. But also, I just wanted to say, watching the Yankees is like watching flies fornicate, Chris. I can't take it anymore. I want to congratulate. I want to congratulate Brian Cashman on putting together a minor league system where guys hit under 200. Whether Mike Ford looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy and Spanky McFarland. And I can't see it. It's like watching the Gas House Gorillas and Bugs Bunny. I'm telling you, Doc, I can't take it anymore, Chris. Anyway, Chris, I got a new radio show up here. I'm so excited about it, too. I just wanted to say I'm really excited about getting back in the industry because it's great. But, it's fun. You know what I'm saying? You have fun. That's great what you do. But seriously, though, I can't stand watching the Yankees. I know Voigt's out. What does Voigt do for you? He hits under 200 too. Is Stanton going to play, or what's the deal with the
I'll tell you what. Like Voigt is sneaky injury prone. Thanks for the call, Robbie, and good luck, brother. I'm excited for you to get back too. Voigt is sneaky injury prone. I give him credit because he played through it last year. He obviously had that bad leg or bad foot, and we saw it all season long. But, Voigt has his issues that have popped up here and there and have kept him off the field. So, this is nothing that I find shocking. But it's the it's the entire Yankee approach. Let's hit a ton of home runs. Let's not worry about what our strikeouts are. Let's just go out there. We're going to inevitably score runs like that. And we're going to strike out 15, 18 times a game. And we're just not going to make a lot of contact. It's painful. It's painful. I'll get to the whole Corey Kluber thing and why Kluber is exactly, unfortunately, what I thought he might turn out to be. This segment of the show is brought to you by Truly Hard Seltzer. Try Truly Hard Seltzer. 100 calories, 1 gram sugar, 5% alcohol, 27 different flavors. Truly Hard Seltzer Beverage Company. Please drink responsibly. 800-919-3776. 800-919-ESPN. We hear from Trae Young in moments on not playing those fourth quarter minutes. Surprised us all, didn't it?
It's Carlin.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
On 98.7 ESPN.
Do you need a new car?
All right.
Credit? We can help. Call Hudson Hyundai, 800-479-4715. It's our special Memorial Day sale now through June 1st. Tier 1 customers can drive a new Hyundai today with just $68 down.
Yeah, of course I want to be in there, but it's the league and the game is so long. You got to be able to find a way to pick your spots. And tonight, obviously, with that lead, our league getting smaller and smaller. Of course, I wanted to stay in there and continue to be in there. But at the same time, I trust Mac and his rotations, and so we got to continue to do that and move on.
America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Call Hudson Hyundai and drive with just $68 down. Special Memorial Day sale now through June 1st. 800-479-4715. That's 800-479-4715 or HudsonHyundai.com. Payments will vary. Credit severity affects approval terms. See dealer for details.
PSEG Long Island is making it easier than ever to stay informed about your service and manage your bill. My Alerts puts the power of control at your fingertips. Report outages, get updates on power restoration, even pay your electric bill with a single text. It's that fast. Making your electric service easier to manage is our job.
Hey, move it downfield, kids. Move it downfield. Now pass it. Shoot.
Because
Hard outs on the call screener for you.
Thank you.
Enroll today at pseglyny.com/myalerts. Just one more way.
This is going to be a quick segment. I'm looking at the live reads now. They have the
happy payroll customer.
I've used it for a year now, and
Got
I'm
it here.
worried.
Truly hard. So we're gonna have to push that back.
Do you do a specific like play of the game or?
I don't, but I can. But we shouldn't do it here.
Read. I'm trying to. Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Let's push it back, and I'll do it early next hour.
Perfect.
All right.
Accounting and payroll. Keep your time and money.
Oh, one last thing that I wanted to mention is we were editing the some of those spots that you sent over.
Yeah.
For a FanDuel.
Mhm.
On one, there was a NBA one, a baseball one, and a tennis one.
Yeah.
With the baseball one, like all three of them, they have some ad libs that you like the LeBron and points total for.
Right.
For the baseball one, the ad lib that you did had to do with the NBA playoffs.
But did it have to be a baseball one?
I don't know. We're gonna
Read the whole. Let me read the whole script again. You guys should have gotten the script. I don't think it had to be a baseball one.
Okay, no worries. Yeah,
Let me look.
I listened to the basketball one, and you had a basketball prop, but then for tennis, it was like Djokovic. So I didn't know.
Right, because they asked specifically for that.
Gotcha. Okay. No worries. Cool.
Responsibly.
It's cold brew o'clock at Wendy's. And right now, you can get a small cold brew for just $1. Or throw some Frosty Creamer in your cold brew and make your good morning great with a small Wendy's Frosty Chino. It's still just $1. First thing in the morning or all day long. So ditch that overpriced coffee and say hasta la vista, barista. Choose Wendy's and enjoy a small cold brew or Frosty Chino for just $1 all day long. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary.
Introducing the Lowe's List. While there's innovation in every aisle, these are some of our experts' top picks for 2021. Customize any load with the Whirlpool 2-in-1 washer. Control your home with a touch, thanks to Samsung Connected Appliances. Repel the rain with HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Everlast. And keep the job
no, it
going
just
longer
starts
with
with
the exclusive
MLB
new
at the
line of
beginning,
Flex Power Tools
but it
made for
doesn't
pros.
really,
To see who made the
like
full
it doesn't
Lowe's list,
specify
visit
home
Lowe's.com.
runs or anything like
Lowe's.
that.
All right, cool. Works with me.
Yeah.
Any possible.
And did you see this Javi Baez play from earlier today?
I did.
That's our motivational beach noises. But we got something else you might like to hear. It's called cash. That's the sound.
I'm not sure if you're watching the Yankees game.
I am. That ball's gonna get out of here.
Yes, it is.
That's 4-0.
All the other cash
Was
you'll
it
make
the
during
Shet?
those.
It's 3-1 Blue Jays.
3-1.
Visit t.uber.com/.
Yeah, that was a 3-run home run from Bichette, who continues to just kill the Yankees every time he gets a chance.
250 for more details.
Everything you need to know about lines, parlays, and teasers. It's the Weekend Wager with Anita Marks. Presented by BetMGM Sports. Place your parlays, props, and futures bets at the King.
And 1 more minute. 1 minute.
Okay.
App today.
Technology is awesome. Well, except for all the cables and all the cords and all the wires. Now imagine if you could connect to technology without physically attaching to it. Well, in the all-new Hyundai Elantra, you can. Because unlike a number of competitors, the Elantra offers completely wireless Apple CarPlay. So in the Elantra, you can seamlessly connect to all of your smartphone apps without all the cables and all the cords and all the wires. It's technology that's easy to get attached to. The all-new Hyundai Elantra, named 2021 North American Car of the Year.
Now for a limited time, lease a 2021 Hyundai Elantra for just $139 a month. Or get one for 0% APR plus $1,000 bonus cash. Hurry in. Offers end soon. See your local Hyundai dealer today. Visit buyhyundai.com to find a dealer near you. Call 661-615-2112 for complete offer details.
Everything is earned in the Mecca. Every second.
10 seconds.
Point. Win every playoff game. We here. We're not done yet. Tickets now available at Knicks.com.
800-919-3776. Trae Young last night played that 35 minutes that he did in game one. But the biggest difference was when he came out of the game, Lou Williams last night did not pick him up like he did in game one. Lou Williams played 13 minutes in his place in game one and scored 13 points. Last night, Lou Williams played 13 minutes and scored 5 points and was just 1 of 6 from the floor. So when you are the guy that is a pure scorer and you are there to do just that, to pick up your team offensively when your best player is off the floor, you have to do just that. You cannot afford to shoot 1 for 6. And that's why I was a little bit more surprised that you saw Nate McMillan stay with Williams late third, early fourth, at least not come back a little bit earlier in the fourth quarter with Trae Young. Here's Young on not playing as many minutes in that fourth quarter. Didn't come back until about 8 minutes left.
Of course I want to be in there, but it's the league and the game is so long. You got to be able to find ways to pick your spots. And tonight, obviously, with that lead, our league getting smaller and smaller, of course I wanted to stay in there and continue to be in there. But at the same time, I trust Mac and, his rotations. And so we got to continue to do that and move on.
Look, he wants to be out there. He's not going to rip his coach. And because his coach employed the exact same strategy that worked for him in game one, it just didn't work in game two. This is what Lou Williams has been for a long time, a guy that comes off the bench. This is why he's a 3-time Sixth Man of the Year and a guy that's going to fill it up for you. He did not fill it up last night, and that was a big part of why the Knicks were able to come back. Spike in St. Pete, next. Spike.
Good to talk to you again. So they seem, what I'm hearing all day and from you, my friend, Sweet Lou, and they made it a little physical yesterday. Great line if you go to the box and see what John Collins had across he had no points and 5 fouls. Stop bitching, Man, the kid, who's the kid who made the 3 threes? Hunter is his name?
Yeah. DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, he missed. Once the second open look, they made them uncomfortable last night in the second half. There's no question about it. That game was Sir David Guthrie tends to officiate. I follow this stuff pretty thoroughly. He tends to officiate, he's a play-on guy. And they move Lou around. Lou doesn't get it early, he doesn't get it. And Lou replaces Trae as the primary scorer. We know that. Trae Young was pushed out, Chris. They pushed him out so he couldn't make that pass. Some genius who I'm talking to said 9 out of 14 in the paint. Is that the right number?
It was, yeah.
Oh, okay. What did he do last night? I'm not asking for
He was 5 of 11. I looked today. He was 5 of 11.
Oh, okay.
So it made it made a difference that they did not allow him to get out there. Problem was in the first half, he was hitting those bombs. He was 4 out of 6 from behind the arc in the first half. Look, they did a much better job defensively second half.
They moved him out. He's making his passes further out, not getting. I can't remember names anymore. My brain's fried. But the guy with the crew cut who made a few shots, young kid. They all look young, but I forget his name. But they don't have a lot of offense. They got their main two. We know I'll tell you one thing, and I told this to Jacob. This you'll corroborate me because I know you know hoops. This Bogdanovich, he's the real deal. This kid can play.
He is the real deal, Spike, and thanks for the call. And I'd be worried about Bogdanovich getting going. Because when you look up and down at the Hawks players who have been different between home and road, Bogdanovich is truly one of them. Much, much better at home. At home, this season shoots 49% versus 45% on the road. From 3, shoots 47% at home versus 41% on the road. A 127 offensive rating. In other words, 27% better than the average player at home. And +8 at home. where he's even on the road. I mean, that tells you everything that you need to know. Bogdanovich in game 3, that is a very, very real concern. Clint Capella in game 3, a very, very real concern. A guy that is plus 10 at home, plus 2 on average on the road. So those two individuals are going to play large, large roles for the Hawks, who have been an outstanding home team. I know we can talk about how many Knick fans there are in Atlanta, but at the same time, the Hawks have played exceptionally well this season. Open lines, 800-919-3776. We get to whether or not Noah Syndergaard will ever pitch for the Mets again shortly.